completely switching gears.
Yes.
So one day I had asked the guys out of curiosity, who was your favorite Marvel
Oh, yes.
hero?
Mhm.
And so we'll get in that conversation in a bit, but there's been a lot of discussion about, um, because you had brought it up, Whitmer, because of the new
Justice
Justice
League.
League
Yeah.
4
4
hour director's
hours.
cut.
Oh no, I can't do it. I can't
I
unless
couldn't
you
do
split up
it.
the movie. Actually, split up the movie, and make it come out like a year later. I could do it, like they did with Infinity War and Endgame. I can do that. Also, because the
Yeah,
story and everything actually went well and everything, and he actually combined everyone that made sense because every person had a good, realistically, a good original movie, whatever
yeah.
that went into that then ended up in this part. So everyone that was in that movie, hero wise, and even villain to Thanos, because Thanos was mentioned many times before about he's
This is true.
pretty much that he was coming or that he was this kind of being and everything. Uh,
This
that
complete
it,
badass, basically.
yeah, this badass that was going to something. I haven't seen
Yeah.
that with DC yet.
No.
Like,
Yeah, and of course, over the years, there's been the very back and forth argument. Oh, which is better, DC or Marvel? I'm extremely biased. I'll say Marvel every day of the week. I think I like the ideas on where DC's going
mhm,
for some of their ideas. However, their content wise,
yeah,
producing wise, has been god awful. Like they've produced some of the worst movies of all time. It's embarrassing. I'm
it is.
embarrassed for them.
Oh, I am too. And realistically, because I said this to you before I got on, like even
Yeah.
before like this like recent phase of the last 10 plus years of Marvel, since Marvel's really cinematic universe really kind of took hold with Iron Man and then kind of went off from there. Either
Mhm.
way, ever since then, or before then, and even still now, I like the heroes in DC more. Like
That's
I just
interesting.
kind of like those characters more before then, and then Marvel came out with all these movies that made it closer, and now I think it's for me Marvel just because not
Ooh.
only because of these characters beforehand, it's also the people that got to cast them that play these characters
This is
so
true.
well that they're memorable. They're all this. They made it so these movies are actually good. They're not just another superhero movie, which is what you saw kind of previous to that. Not that I
Yeah.
don't like the Spider-Man movies with Tobey Maguire,
Right.
but either way, they're still kind of superhero-y. There wasn't really, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah. I gotcha.
Because they went on the line of you can actually because that's kind of what how these comic books beforehand works is like they kind of told a story. They kind of went this way instead of just being these one off movies, which you can still
Right.
do, but then you can still build to something. Marvel's
Yeah.
case, they have the Avengers. DC's case, they have Justice League. Justice League, and really what DC should have done is kind of take a page out of Marvel's playbook. And I know they've tried doing it with Wonder Woman and Aquaman, but you've had way too many Batmans to just. And I'll be
I'll
honest,
put it this way. Yeah.
I'm not a big fan of Ben Affleck, and I don't really care for him as Batman.
Um,
Just saying.
no, he's no, and now not only that,
And now there's going to be a new
you
Superman.
ha- well, no, there's Robert
Pattinson. Pattinson.
Pattinson
Yeah,
as the newest Batman, which I will say this new Batman movie looks sick,
it does.
but it's you've had too many Batmans. You should have just ended it with Christian Bale. He was the all-time greatest Batman.
Mm. He was
Don't you
okay.
dare tell me George Clooney is the best Batman.
With his nipple costume? No way. The only Batman with nipples on the costume. It's awful.
Oh my god, I forgot about that. No, I forgot about that. Anyway,
No, it's essentially not OG. It's not uh what's his face?
Michael Keaton.
Yes, I think Michael Keaton's the best, but I was about to say the original, but he's not the original. It's what's his face? What's his name? Adam West.
Oh yes.
I wanted to say
Fair.
Mayor West because of Family Guy, but he actually had a name. But Adam West, he was the OG, yes, actual Batman. But I still think Michael Keaton's is the best. But that's just me.
That's fair.
I like his Bruce Wayne more than Christian Bale's. I don't at all like the raspy voice of Christian Bale's Batman. That really turns me off with those ones. It really does.
You know, this reminds me.
It's not even that much. It's not even like if you watch. Like if you see Rises or Dark Knight,
Neighbors 2 or whatever, where
yeah.
the Batman's Seth Rogen and Zac Efron go back and forth between I'm Batman.
It's not even that noticeable in Batman Begins, but in Dark Knight and Dark Knight Rises, it's just there. It's like, why?
By the time his Dark Knight Rises, it's like his voice is on steroids.
Actually, sorry, I have to say this. Actually,
oh no! Are you going to say something controversial, Whitmer?
Kind of, but the animated Batmans are so good.
Oh my god, that's not even controversial, dude. Batman Beyond was
It was, incredible. And I'm actually rewatching it.
Are you serious?
Yeah, I have HBO Max. It's on HBO Max. I'm watching it.
All right, hang up this podcast. I'm watching it right now. I'm just kidding. Let's not. But I need to rewatch it, dude. Batman Beyond.
Conroy as Batman is great. Mark Hamill as the Joker. Outside of, I
love Mark Hamill as the Joker.
Joaquin Phoenix did with being kind of a psychopath kind of way. I loved.
I freaking love Mark Hamill's Joker.
I love Heath Ledger's Joker, but you have to give it to Mark Hamill. I mean, really.
Oh my god, dude! I heard that aren't they coming? They're either. I think I'm getting my stories mixed up. Is it either like you mentioned, Batman Beyond is on HBO Max, or they're coming out with a new Batman Beyond?
I don't know if there's coming out with a new one, but it's the original one is on there.
Okay,
as well as the movie.
Regardless, the original one is amazing. So let me see here.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they have a bunch of old like animated like Batmans and Justice Leagues, even Supermans.
Dude, Batman Beyond series. Okay.
It's on HBO Max. Don't worry, I'm not lying.
All right. Well, no. What I was looking up is to see if they're coming out with like a Batman Beyond series or something like that.
I did look it up, but I don't think. I think they've like. I think they were thinking.
I think
you know how like the CW kind of has all those like Supergirl, Batwoman kind of series.
Yeah.
But there was like, they feel like a Batman Beyond would fit in that kind of thing, but I don't think they've had anything on a revival of it, which I would appreciate. Again, I feel like it was more of like a kid's kind of show, but realistically, if you really watch those, and like maybe that's why when we were kids, like those 90s kid shows were so great. Another tangent, but it's that they weren't that kiddie. Like they focused on the story.
The story was good. The action was amazing, dude. His actual suit was incredible.
It was
like the all black and the red. That was nice.
No cape. He could fly now.
Yeah. So that I actually liked.
Mm-hmm. I may have had some Batman Beyond toys. Yes, I did.
Hell yeah,
mm-hmm.
Absolutely. Dude, that was one of the best shows of all time. All right. Anyway.
The reason why, because I kind of went on a tangent there, but the reason why Marvel, I know they have now third implication of Spider-Man with, what's his face?
Tom Holland.
Thank you. Tom Holland, but he seems to be the current Spider-Man. Even though there's talks in the new Spider-Man, I think they just want to try to be what like Spider-Verse was and try to bring the old ones back into this
I don't want that.
Know how they, I don't really want that either.
I don't want it at all. I'm not for it.
It interests me just because of nostalgia reasons. Because again, Tobey Maguire,
I know. But this is what I've been saying for years now, since Tom Holland's Spider-Man came to live action. Tobey Maguire's Spider-Man, he was supposed to be in high school. They casted that entire movie wrong. They all look like they're in college, and
They do.
which is ridiculous because it's supposed to be high school. No high schooler looks like that. So they got the age wrong with Andrew Garfield's Spider-Man. He's a great actor. I love him, but
Again, I feel like
he's
that's
not.
Yeah.
He's not a good Peter Parker because he's not nerdy. He's like jacked, and regardless of I get Peter Parker's after he gets his spider abilities, he bulks up and everything. But like Andrew Garfield's already like pretty built, regardless, and he's a good looking guy.
Now,
So
I will
he's
say,
not like
out of all three,
Tobey Maguire,
Tobey Maguire was the best in terms of being that nerd.
Yes, no, that I agree with. And then now Tom Holland, I originally thought he looked like he was in middle school.
Yeah, exactly. And realistically, all those kids in that are essentially in high school in terms of the movies that they've been in. They look realistically like they're in high school or seniors.
So I'll put this way: if you combine Tobey Maguire and Peter Parker and Tom Holland's Spider-Man together, you have the perfect Spider-Man. You have the actual look of a very nerdy Peter Parker, which is what he's what we've known him to be throughout all the stories. But you have the young age of an actual high schooler growing up.
Although I do like the original Spider-Man, like the costume of Spider-Man.
That I do like.
His is the best.
Yeah. The Iron Spider suit, that one is pretty cool, though, I will say.
Yeah, it is.
It's different, but it's very
But it
cool.
also makes sense. Like the reason I know they went like this route where he pretty much got adopted, but essentially was close with Tony Stark and everything, and being
sorry, continue.
Tony Stark taking him under his wing and everything, and then him kind of learning from his responsibilities. And then not just that, the more recent one, I don't want to give away too much spoilers from that one, but it came out like 2 years ago.
I mean, that came out 2 years ago. You can't really spoil it too much.
No, but at the same time, like that movie made so much sense in that, since now that, unfortunately, spoiler if you haven't seen it already, Tony Stark is no longer. Sorry.
Yeah.
But he essentially had to take on that role shortly after he went away as being that leader. And he played that off so well.
It was awesome because he had to really mature even more than he already was. And because the one thing I really like this about the Tom Holland version of the Spider-Man movies was, excuse me, they had already established by the time you meet him in Spider-Man Homecoming, he already has his powers for, actually, by the time in Civil War, he has his powers for 6 months. You already, and then once you get into the Homecoming timeline, they briefly mention, everything going on with Aunt May, referring to the whole Uncle Ben situation. You don't see how he gets his powers. You don't see the whole Uncle Ben dies for a third time. So they've already established that, which I like. But not only that, but in Civil War, Tom Holland's Peter Parker mentions to Tony saying, "I've been me my whole life," and that's a different side of Peter Parker that you don't really see, because he's always been such a nice, friendly guy. That's like,
for the neighborhood.
Yeah, for the neighborhood. But so that I thought was pretty different. But
I will say the ending of that second one was so goddamn good.
I
really can't wait. I hate that they had to push it back because of COVID and everything, but I really want to see it. It's not coming out later this year.
No idea.
Or did they push it back again to 2022?
No idea. They were pushing so much stuff back. So all right, anyway, so I know there's a lot of controversy between DC and Marvel. Tying this all under one big umbrella. I've preferred Marvel. Seems like you're kind
recently I've been Marvel, but growing up,
it was DC.
To then, yes.
That's fair, yeah.
And again, it's also because of those animated Batmans and all those, because those also played a good role of, like, those were so good to me. Like that's what it was like.
Yeah, absolutely. Because I didn't really start getting into Marvel until after Iron Man came out, because Tommy actually had Iron Man on DVD, and he had shown me the first time I saw that movie. I absolutely loved it, but the first time he showed me it, scene where Tony Stark builds a suit at home in his basement, basically for the first time. I had Tommy replay that scene like 2 or 3 times because I thought it was just so well. And this was 2008 when they did this. The CGI and all those special effects were incredible, and it took off for me from there. And yeah, so it's always Marvel. But then this got me thinking when I asked you and the rest of the guys, who's your favorite Marvel hero? But I want to kind of change my original question to a newer question. Who's your favorite superhero, period? So there's 3 categories. We got who's your favorite hero, who's your favorite villain, and overall, who's your favorite character, whether they're hero or villain.
All right. So I'm actually going to do it 2 ways because this did start off being Marvel, so I'm going to do that first, and then I'll do overall. So for me, because I was even think about it, and it's again because of a movie, Guardians, one that I never really heard of beforehand, but because it was one of those superhero movies that wasn't afraid to get out of that being dark, and having to be that way of.
They took
superheroes.
Risks.
They took risks. They were funny. They landed. It was great,
and it worked. And a huge reason, kind of going on a different tangent here, is this is why the Rise of Skywalker didn't work. They did take risks with Rian Johnson and his risks, but nothing landed. It was just they took these
and
huge
it was
risks.
Casted so well.
Yes, and it didn't pan out well for Rise of Skywalker. Now, obviously, going years ago before that was Guardians of the Galaxy when it first came in 2012, I believe. They took risks, though. The characters were great. The actors were great. Bradley Cooper was awesome, who I believe is part of your favorite character in Rocket Raccoon.
Yeah, he
love it. He goes,
yeah, it is.
Yeah,
you gotta love him,
dude.
I like him because he's also kind of an asshole too.
He is, which I love.
I love that, and it's also why it's him, and then it's Tony. It's Tony Stark.
Yeah,
and obviously it's Robert Downey Jr.'s Iron Man. Like
performance was just unreal.
They've kind of been
so that's your
kind
favorite,
of being that asshole that really that can get under the skin of people, like he did a bunch of times to Captain and everyone. The first time he goes to meet the Avengers, he's trying to get the Hulk to actually be the Hulk.
Yeah,
because he wants to see him.
Yeah. By the way, I love how you're able to turn yourself, green light. Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Oh God! All right.
Also, this is an honorable mention to me, but I do love Yondu. I love Yondu. He's up there for me.
Oh, I love Yondu.
But it's another one of those things. It's different, but when you look deeper into that movie, into Peter Quill and everything, being especially in the second one, and everything, and seeing how like he was almost like a father to him.
Yeah.
So like there was also the emotional part of it, which they weren't afraid to show.
Yeah. No, and you wouldn't expect from characters like that, which is why it worked out so great.
James Gunn was really good at this movie, so that's why
he did a phenomenal job.
So villain for Marvel sense, it's easy. It's Thanos. I mean, how can it not?
I know, he's amazing.
I do wonder though if they ever thought about doing, because I just had this thought come up to me.
And his origin story.
What? No, not that.
Damn, that's what I want.
They could do. No, but I know they had an Incredible Hulk with Edward Norton, but
maybe sucked. They also had the 2003 Hulk, and that's also sucked. Yes.
That's why I wish there was one by itself with Mark Ruffalo. Yeah,
that I agree with. I would actually like to see that.
Mm-hmm. Even though it doesn't matter at this point because he's already been in so many other movies where it's like.
By the way, real quick, I hate what they did with him and made him the Professor Hulk. I hate how they combined Banner and the Hulk into one actual character.
Yeah,
I get it, but that was one of the very few parts of Endgame I actually didn't like.
No, because to me, the thing about him which really confused me with Infinity War and Endgame, is that I guess it was because when he first had that fight with Thanos, like it scared Hulk, the Beast or whatever,
I
out of
don't
him.
know
So for some
what.
reason he couldn't come
Yeah.
back. But then it made me think, like, well, in Avengers, the first one, he told Tony Stark the reason why he's able to control it or whatever is because he's always
He took
angry. At that
he told Cap
sense,
that, but yeah.
he told Cap that, whatever.
Yeah.
Either way, he had that.
Yeah, no, I know. Sorry,
Okay.
I can't help it. I'm a
Hey.
huge Marvel player. I'm sorry.
Anyways,
Anyway, go ahead.
he said that in that moment that he's always angry. So I would think at this
Yeah,
point, when he's trying to essentially get rid of half the people in the world, that would be the most point when he's angry. So then that would bring him out. But nope,
yeah.
he just can't come out.
There's videos
Yeah, there's
on
everyone has
explanations
their
of that,
theories and all that.
I gotta do some research because I can't remember, but there actually was a deleted scene in Infinity War that it shows you where Banner basically transforms into Smart Hulk, which I still don't like.
I'm not
Regardless,
a big
even if they
fan.
were to
Like I
I'm
don't
not a
like
fan.
Fat Thor either, and Thor is one of my favorites too. But
I didn't at first. The
but I
more I
understood it.
watched it,
Yeah.
I understood it. At first, I despised it. I thought it was dumb. I hated it. I was like, come on, really? This is ridiculous. Because I was like, oh, they're just doing it for comic relief.
I know, but I do like the scene where the dude calls him an asshole. The dude called me an asshole is back again.
Oh, Thor, new Master 69's back. But I get it because look at all that happens in his life.
Yeah, exactly.
And all the people that he was lost and everything. And he was the one who theoretically could have killed Thanos, but he failed. And he feels all of his guilt. So I do respect it.
Later actually doing it. And then again, that also plays a part to it as well. And that he was the one.
He redeems himself.
Yeah.
Yeah, but so I think during the next Thor film, you'll see him really.
I think he's also going to be in the next Guardians too.
You know, it's he's going to be in the next Guardians, yeah. But it's going to be combined. But you're going to see him in much, I'd imagine, better shape because he's actually taking care of himself again, which I would hope is the case. But
because he had that thing with his mom.
Yes, and I think that was a huge point in his character story arc. All right, overall favorite character,
Batman. I mean, come on.
Fair enough.
You can't go wrong. I went with both billionaire geniuses, but I'm going with Bruce Wayne Batman every time. The greatest detective.
I like it. I like that, the greatest detective. That's actually really funny. Like
and then Joker. I mean, come on. How can you not?
I said your favorite character. You have to pick one.
Oh, favorite
Batman
character?
or Joker?
No. Oh, I said Batman's my overall, but I was doing the villain too.
I got you. You know, because
we did the categories.
Well, you know that I knew. Were you split it between Marvel and DC?
Kind of, but the first one was just doing our original thought of favorite kind of Marvels, but I wanted to do all over just because I didn't want to shut all over Marvel because my favorites are in DC and Batman and Joker.
Okay, I'm with you now. So your favorite hero in general is Batman. Favorite villain and character is Joker. Got it. Yeah. And then if you had to pick, regardless between DC and Marvel, favorite overall character, what is I'd assume be Batman. So is Batman, Joker, Batman for you? Okay. All right. Well, it's no secret. Actually, I'm glad that we're doing this today because not only do I have my Captain America chair,
because it's the only day you had that Captain America.
I got my Captain America shirt. So this is like the perfect timing for this shirt. It's got the shield and everything, but clearly Cap is my favorite, not only Marvel character, but just favorite hero in general. Favorite villain, you gotta hand it to Thanos. He's the ultimate villain. But between DC and Marvel, it really is between obviously Thanos, but the Joker, where you never know what to expect. You are old. Like there's certainly times where you are flat out frightened by this guy, and the fact that, and I love the different worlds of DC and Marvel because Thanos, he's like this. I don't even know what he is. Technically, an alien, I guess you'd say, and
Obviously,
but I don't even know what to call him,
but he's
no,
very
so
intelligent, so he uses his intelligence in his words outside of that.
He's strength, he's brawn, he's intelligent,
but even him
just
too,
that overall fear factor, though. But a lot of the power he has, besides actual brute force, is the gauntlet. And if you take away the gauntlet, though, he's just his regular self. You would still fear him, but he's still very powerful. Now, for the Joker, though, you never know what to expect. He's known for his traps. He's known. He's the Joker for a reason.
Yes.
But no, and for him, and you see a lot of that in The Dark Knight, though. Heath Ledger gets that role perfectly.
It's not just that too, because you can look at it at Heath Ledger's portrayal, and you can also look at psychologically from Joaquin Phoenix's portrayal.
Yes, I'll put it this way: as the actual Joker, Heath Ledger is the all-time greatest at that for the Joker. But if you had an origin story between Heath Ledger's Joker and Joaquin Phoenix's, you would probably go with Joaquin Phoenix because he looks like he has just been through absolute hell and back, and the way he goes through everything, and just you can see it is tormenting him from start to finish. And Joaquin Phoenix did such an incredible job with that role. And there were times where I felt it was very unsettling during that movie when we ended up seeing it. I was like, oh my god! I remember we both left the theater and we kept looking at each other. It's like, it was good.
No wonder it's hard.
We're just like, I don't know how I feel about this.
Yeah,
it gave you that the creepiness and everything, just all of that. Yeah. But it was unreal.
But also back to Thanos too. It's not just that, but in Infinity War and Endgame, you do see not that he's just a complete asshole and everything, but he also has this little heart or whatever for Gamora.
Gamora, yeah. He surprisingly has that lighter side to him that you would not expect. I get, because I love Marvel, I give this slighter edge to Thanos, but not by much. The overall character of Thanos versus the overall character of the Joker and what the Joker represents, I would say it's 51% Thanos, 49% Joker. So that's where I'm leaning. But overall character, for favorite character of all time, it's my boy Cap.
No, it's not.
Yes, it is.
No, it can't be.
Too late. Captain America is the ultimate, hero. Now, obviously, he, as in the Avengers, Tony Stark says, a hero like you, everything special about you came from a bottle. In Endgame, he proves that he actually is more than just, he's clearly worthy because he's able to lift Mjolnir. So there's more to just the bottle of that serum for Captain America that gave him his powers and everything. There's more to that than just that, those vials of the serum. He has heart, and you see it in the training scene. He dives on a dummy grenade that he doesn't even know is a dummy grenade because he wants to protect. He wants to help serve at all costs, and he'll do whatever it takes to make the ultimate sacrifice. And even if he never got that serum, he would still be that same person. And that, by the end of the day, is why I love Cap more than any other character out there.
I can take that.
I have other favorites, but Cap is my ultimate favorite. Honorable mention, Doctor Strange.
Yeah, I could see that. But again, the reason why I say Batman, it's a similar thing with you with Cap in that it's obviously the serum gave him it and everything, but obviously
Batman is
Bruce
just
is
Batman. He's
very,
just Bruce Wayne.
yeah, he's hurt by obviously losing his parents and he takes it very seriously. And because of that, he sees all this crime and everything and he learns to fight. He learns to take on pain and everything to just get past it and be this essentially this great detective and everything.
Yeah.
And not like Tony Stark, where he's going to be a little more quirky, make joke and everything. He's going to be dark no matter what.
Yeah.
He's going to be dark and try to be whatever the best solution is to do whatever.